Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8. This is the new form factor, and pre-orders are now live today, and the phone releases on August 7th. Prices start at $1,899.99, go up to $2,499, and you have three different storage options. 256 gigabytes, 512 gigabytes, both of those options come with 12 gigs of RAM, or you can go up to 1 terabyte of storage with 16 gigs of RAM. We have four different colors: lavender, cream, graphite, and pistachio. And let's go ahead and open this up and see what we've got here. So if we flip it over, let's go ahead and pull the little pulls back here and open it up. There we go. Let's see what color we've got. And it looks like we've got lavender. So let's see what's in the box before we take a closer look at the device itself. So inside the box, we have, it looks like, a USB-C cable, as well as maybe a little warranty, or it's talking about the SIM card here. We've got USB-C to USB-C, and it looks like we've got a SIM card ejector tool. Let's take a look at what we have as far as that goes. It does support eSIM as well, and let's take a look at the device. So here is the new Z Fold 8. There's also a Z Fold 8 Ultra, which is the traditional form factor. We'll compare that a little bit later on, but if we flip this over, let's go ahead and remove the cover. There we go. So you can see the device here. There's nothing else in the box. Now let's take a look around the outside edge. Of course, we'll turn it on, set it up, and everything else. But again, this is the lavender color it looks like. On the right-hand side, we have our power sleep wake button along with our volume rocker. We've got some antenna lines. On the bottom, we have USB-C, and this just shows you how thin it is. So we have a microphone, USB-C, it looks like a speaker, and then another microphone here, and you can see the hinge in the middle. This is made out of armor aluminum. On the left-hand side, it looks like we just have two antenna lines, and then on the top, another speaker, a couple microphones, antenna lines, and then a SIM card tray. So we still have a physical SIM card tray. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. So with the SIM card tray, you'll see the SIM card, and it looks like there's room for one SIM card. Let's pop that back into place. And it also looks like we have a cover here over the cover display. So there we go. And this is only 4.5 millimeters unfolded. So super thin. It's 9.7 millimeters folded. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And it's just 201 grams or 7.09 ounces. It's the lightest fold they've made as far as a larger one. If we close this here, you can see the overall thickness and size, what it looks like. So again, if we take a look around the outside, and of course we have two cameras. We have a regular wide and then an ultra wide. Both are 50 megapixel cameras. We'll come back to those a little bit later. As far as the overall size, well, here's the Z Fold 7 side by side, so you can see the size. We'll compare it with the Z Fold 8 Ultra a little bit later, but this gives you an idea of the form factor if you're thinking of upgrading. And you can see it's a little bit wider, a little bit shorter, and as far as thickness, very similar there. Maybe slightly thicker, but very, very close. So not really a huge difference there as far as thickness goes. Now, when it comes to the cover display, this is a 5.5-inch FHD Plus AMOLED 2X, and it's 120 Hertz. Let's go ahead and turn it on here. We'll press and hold, wait for it to boot up here. Hopefully we have some battery here, and we'll talk about battery in a moment. So again, trying to boot it up here. There we go, it turned on. And it says secured by Knox. So again, we'll wait for it to boot up. And again, this is a 5.5-inch display, thankfully 120 Hertz. So I wouldn't really expect anything different from Samsung. It's powered by Android, as you can see here. It should have Android 17 and OneUI 9, but we'll check that a little bit later. And here's the boot up animation. And there we go, OneUI 9. This is the typical start screen. Let's first talk about the inner display though, if we open it up. So let's turn that on, and the inner display is a 7.6-inch QXGA Plus Dynamic AMOLED 2X. It's again 120 Hertz, has a titanium alloy film, a titanium plate, which makes it more durable, more rigid, and helps reduce that crease overall. So you can see side by side. Let me bring in the Z Fold 7, for example, and show you how much they've reduced the crease. So again, if we bring these together, you can see the crease side by side. It's definitely much better this time around. Also, it's less reflective, and while it's not as good as maybe the S26 Ultra, it's less reflective, and you can see that here side by side as I move it back and forth. So the Z Fold 7 on the left, the new Z Fold 8 on the right. So definitely a nice difference there. Again, anti-reflectivity compared with the S26 Ultra, not quite as good as that, but pretty close. So again, you can see side by side. So pretty nice overall. Now let's go ahead and turn it on and get it set up. Now this is also a 3000 nit display. Now let's go ahead and tap start and get this set up. You'll see we have to agree to the terms, agree to their policy. You can send diagnostic data if you'd like, or you can skip that altogether. Now it says easy setup with another device, Galaxy or Android, iPhone or iPad. You can even transfer your eSIM from an iPhone along with messages, passwords, and more this time around. But let's go ahead and set it up with the S26 Ultra. So now we have to verify it's me. We'll put in the PIN from the other device here. It says connecting to Wi-Fi. We'll give it just a moment here. Now it says getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes. It's checking info now. It's getting account info. Now it says, do you want to copy apps and data? I do. We'll go ahead and tap next. We'll have to agree. And now it says Smart Switch uses these permissions. So nearby device and much more will allow that. And it says updates to Smart Switch privacy notice. I have to continue over here. It says connecting to transfer, searching for data to transfer, and now it says select data to transfer. We'll just transfer everything here, making it very easy. And it says back up your messaging app data. We can't transfer your chats and data for these apps. So if you have WhatsApp, it's telling you to back that up ahead of time. Tap next, and now it says transferring. Once setup is done, you can check the status of your transfer in your notifications. It's asking me if I just signed in on the S26 Ultra. I'll tap yes. We'll keep the screen on just to transfer here. And again, it's transferring. So let's continue. Oh, now it wants me to set up face recognition or fingerprints. Let's set up fingerprints here. We'll put in a lock screen pin and we'll go ahead and add a fingerprint. So it's on the side here. Going to add a fingerprint. We'll register that. There we go. Let's get that set up just so we can unlock it using our fingerprint, making it very easy. There we go, just cover the whole sensor. And there we go. You can add another or just tap next. Now we've already done that, we'll test our fingerprint. It says great, it recognizes it, and we'll tap done. I had to agree to Google services, so I tap next, and it says meet Gemini, your personal AI assistant. So we'll tap next here, and it says go hands-free with hey in front of the word Google. So we'll go ahead and turn that on if you want to use it. You don't have to use it. And now it says Galaxy AI. You can use Note Assist, Transcript Assist, Photo Assist, and My Fan Cam, which is a new one we'll take a look at in a little bit, and everything else. So let's go ahead and tap next. You can use Bixby if you want to, or just tap next here. And it says Samsung Bixby uses these permissions. And if you want to use it, of course, you can agree to that. And it says Samsung Services, Auto Blocker, Customization Service, Personal Data Intelligence. So you can agree or not agree. And now it's saying how to take care of your phone. It says pressing the screen or the front camera lens with hard or sharp objects such as pen or fingernail may cause damage, such as scratches or dents. So again, it is a folding phone. It says don't remove the protective film on the main screen. And it is water resistant, but not perfect. So pretty good this time around. And it says you're all set up. So that was pretty quick. And there we go. It's restoring all of my apps. It's also restoring the layout here that we have on this phone. So if we scroll home, you'll see that it's very much the same with two different pages. So it's laid out that way, and we should be good to go. It's going to transfer all it can, and we'll give it just a few minutes here. So while this is syncing, let's go over what we have internally. We have a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. We also have 5G, Wi-Fi 7, and ultra wideband. When it comes to the battery this time around, it's 4,800 milliamp hours. It also supports 45 watt wired fast charging and 20 watt wireless charging. Now, when it comes to the cameras, of course, we'll take a closer look at that in a moment, but you'll see here's the cover display. The front-facing camera is a 10 megapixel camera. Also, the inner display camera here is 10 megapixels. The rear cameras, though, are both a little bit different, where they're 50 megapixels. So the forward-facing cameras, or the cover display and inner display camera, can do 4K 60, but here we have a wide 50 megapixel with optical image stabilization and autofocus, and then we also have an ultra wide 50 megapixel with autofocus. We have 10 times digital zoom as there's no telephoto zoom lens here. We do have a flash, and we can record 8K video at 30 frames per second or 4K at 60 frames per second. So pretty nice camera setup. Of course, some people will miss that telephoto zoom lens, but let's go ahead and wait for this to restore. And let's see if we have some updates as well. So we'll go into our updates. We'll go down to software update and check for updates. Let's see if we have anything while we're restoring data. It says connecting to server. And it says we're up to date. So as far as the version that's installed here, again, while we're waiting for data to transfer, within software information, again, you'll see it's Android 17, OneUI version 9, and you can see all of the different information here with Knox and more. So it has the June 5th Android security patch in it. Now, when it comes to wallpapers that are pre-installed, let's take a look at that. Again, while we're waiting here, we'll go into our wallpapers and change wallpaper. So again, this comes in multiple colors, and you'll see here's one variation. Here's the next one. Here's the next one. And then we have the pistachio one, which is actually my favorite this year. I typically go for maybe the dark one, but I really like the pistachio look of the phone, but this is nice either way. Let's go ahead and use this one, swipe home, and there we go. So again, let me wait for this to restore a few moments, and then we'll take a closer look at everything else. Now everything is set up, all my data is transferred over, and all of my apps are in the same location. All of my apps are installed. I may need to log into a few different accounts here, whether that's Discord, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, and things like that, but we're ready to go. Now, this form factor is something I actually really like. It's going to be a little bit difficult for some people, depending on the size of your hands, but to reach across the display is a little bit challenging, again, depending on the size of your hands, but quite nice here. And if we go into something with a large keyboard, for example, so we'll go here. If we type, you'll see that's got a nice large keyboard. This is something I definitely appreciate, where if we go to Samsung.com, it's much easier to type. And then, of course, we can just go to whatever website we want, and we have this nice wide aspect ratio. Of course, the same is true if we open it up like this. We've got the full page here in a nice 4:3 page format. Now, another thing you can do with this has to do with the cameras. Because we essentially have two really wide displays, we can go into the camera, go into video, and of course we have those video modes I mentioned before, 8K video, which has Pro Visual Excellence in video with a new Pro Visual engine. So it helps with the overall quality, but if we go into our video, 8K 30, let's stop recording. I did that by accident, but if we'll go in here, go to 8K, you'll see 8K 30, 4K 60, for example, but we have some new modes. If we go into our options here, tap on this button, we can then record from the front camera and the camera on the other display so that maybe we could do an interview. So we can split it like this, and now you'll see the camera overhead, what's behind it here, just like this, and you can record from both at the exact same time. So again, 4K 60 on both without any issues. If we stop that here, go back, again, we can change the actual aspect ratio of this as well. Go in here, we could do top to bottom, or we could just go back and turn it off. Whatever you'd like, you have those options, dual recording, and it works really well. And of course, because you have these really wide displays, it seems to be pretty excellent. As far as the photo modes, of course, the two cameras on the back are great. We do have 50 megapixel cameras. We have wide and ultra wide and 10x digital zoom. So that may or may not work for you, but here's a few photos and a little bit of video to see what it looks like. I think the quality so far is pretty excellent, but it seems to be pretty decent overall. If we go into video, we'll spin it around here, and let's go ahead and record. So this is the front-facing camera from the new ZFold 8. It gives you an idea of the overall quality, the sound quality from the microphone, and just what it looks like in general recording in 4K. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. We'll go ahead and stop that, and I think for cameras on a folding device, it's pretty good. It does stick out a little bit, but it's nice to have all of those options. Some people would prefer a telephoto zoom lens, but I think it's fine for the majority of people. Now, as far as other things you can do, well, of course, we have a bunch of features included. We have a new feature that works along with the camera. So if maybe you're recording something and maybe you're wanting to convert that into vertical video, it can actually center the subject using that. So that's something that is a little tricky to show you without multiple people, but basically you can center the subject within your footage. So of course, I'll review this over a week or so, see what it's like, and sort of follow up with that, but that's one of the great features that it has. Now, of course, it has features such as photo assist built in. So if we go into a photo I took of myself a while ago, and then we go into our options to edit, we can describe what we want to change. So we'll go in and maybe change the background to standing in front of the Empire State Building. We'll go ahead and generate that, and it should change the entire background. Now, we've had this before, but again, it seamlessly works with the device, and we'll wait and see what it does here. So we'll give it just a moment, and then it should edit it. Now I'm in New York City, even though I'm, well, technically not in this part of New York City. So you can keep editing, show previous, side by side, and of course, this aspect ratio makes this great. Now, if we take a look at video, we'll go into one of my videos here, the first look of the Z Fold 8 Ultra and the Z Fold 8 and all of the other accessories and updates. And you'll see here with this video playing, you have a bar at the top and bottom. So while it's smaller than what you get on the Z Fold 8 Ultra, it's definitely still there. You could expand this out, of course, to fill the entire display. It looks great, but again, you still will have those bars on top and bottom just due to this being a 4:3 aspect ratio. And compared to the Z Fold 8 Ultra, you'll see in my first look video, which is this one, there's definitely less bars on the Z Fold 8, but it's not a huge difference depending on what you're using. So compared to maybe the S26 Ultra, you can see here how much more real estate it gets you with your video, but it's not a huge difference. So just keep that in mind. So if you were considering a fold for video, unless you expand it full screen, it's not that big of a difference per se. Also, one other thing to note is when you're playing audio, it only comes from the left side of the device. So you have audio on the top speaker here and on the bottom here. There isn't a speaker on the right-hand side. So it actually sounds like the audio is just on the left-hand side, and that threw me off at first. So if I play my video back here, maybe better if you're reading a book, for example. It sort of sounds like it's coming from the middle, but slightly left center. So it's a little odd. The first time I started watching a video on this, that actually surprised me a little bit. Another feature we get is Now Nudge, so it gives helpful prompts throughout the OS. So this is something we had with the S26 Ultra, so maybe you're on the cover screen, and then you go into Photos, or you go to Maps, it can recognize, based on context, things you may want to save, whether that's photos within a text message or something else, and it can proactively grab that information if maybe you talked about a trip to New York City. It could grab that information and just make it easier to access. So those are things that are all included, all part of Galaxy AI, along with Google AI, Gemini, and more, and super, super helpful if you've never used any of those. One other thing they have here is Gemini Notebook. So it should be pre-installed with every one of them, and you'll see it here. So Google Gemini Notebook, this is going to be super helpful. You can have it organize information for you, and you'll see it says capture the world, create with AI. Turn your observations into insights from photos to audio recordings, instantly generate slide decks and deep dive summaries on the go. Let's get started here, and maybe we'll create new. So you can create or upload a PDF, audio, or anything else, and then it can organize that information for you. So as I'm doing notes for videos like this is going to be super helpful, and I'll have to try it out. But again, it can organize that. Maybe let's try audio here. It says no new items. So of course we'll need to import some things, but I'll need some content for this. But again, you can use this with Notebook, open it up, and again, it seamlessly fits within the cover display and the inner display or main display. I haven't seen any issue with apps that way, so if maybe we go into Maps, you'll see Maps is full screen. We can zoom in, no problem. It just stays full screen. If we want to transition to the outer display, again, no issues whatsoever. Let's go in here. There we go. We'll go back into Maps, and no issue. We'll open it up here, and we're in the larger display. So really works pretty seamlessly. I know I saw some people say that they didn't think everything fit, and maybe I'll run into that as I use it, but so far it's been pretty good. Something else that's built in is a built-in document scanner. And while that's not new, if we go into Camera, and then maybe let's spin it around here, we'll go to Photo, it should auto-recognize when it has a document behind it and switch over to that document mode. So scan, and now we can scan the document. It can correct everything for you so that it's nice and straight. We'll give it a moment here. It says View Original. It brightened it up. You can straighten it out, add a scan. Let's maybe go back here, discard it. We'll try one more time with the full one. You'll see the full page here, and it automatically brings it in. Let's see what it does here. It straightened it and everything else. So this is what the original looked like. It brightened it, and it's much better. So it auto opens that option when it recognizes a document now. Now, one other thing I thought we'd take a look at is a new case. This is a case specifically for the ZFold 8, and you'll see it says the carbon magnet case. It comes in varieties of different colors, and let's go ahead and open it up. It's the first time seeing it. Let's open it up here. See what we've got in the box here. Looks like we've got a few other things here. Looks like it even comes with a screen protector in the box, so we'll take a look at that in a moment. You've got, of course, a little guide, how to install everything, and then the case itself. So here's a case. It looks like it has a magnet ring in it, so it could work with MagSafe accessories, things like that. This is a little guide to install the screen protector, it looks like. In here, it looks like we've got some accessories for things such as, well, it looks like applying the screen protector. You've got a little microfiber cloth, and maybe some stickers, dust removal stickers included as well. So let's see if we can get this put together. We'll first take a look at the case side here. So again, it has a magnet ring in it. On the back, it's sort of got a carbon look to it. It's a plasticky case, again with magnets in it. Let's remove this. And then it looks like it will protect the camera bump. So if we put this on the back like this, you'll see it complements the color. Of course, this varies depending on what color you get, and there's different options available. It leaves the side open, so you have access to the power, sleep, wake button and volume buttons. It does protect the bottom, but keeps the access open to the microphone as well as USB-C, but it's not protecting this front part. Again, the hinge is unprotected here, but this should help if maybe you were dropping it this way. So the case does add a little bit of bulk to the back of it, and of course you can have that screen protector on the front to help with reflectivity if you'd like to. But let me know what you think of the new ZFold 8 in the comments below. If you have any additional questions, things you want to know about it, I'll use it for a week and then do a regular review about it. But let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to know. Of course, if you'd like to get your hands on the wallpaper that we have here, I'll try and link them in the description below if I can find them. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.